Hey everyone, welcome to Mental Mayhem. I'm Christine and this video is on codependency. If you are not familiar with my channel, a few weeks back I did a video on toxic relationships. Alright, I used alcoholism pretty much as the cornerstone of it. However, it can be applied to many different toxic relationships, whether it is other addictions, narcissistic behaviors. But the bottom line is relationships that are not for your highest good, okay, toxic. All right. So anyway, I feel personally that it's the most important to look within, to see what's going on in the individual that is suffering from these relationships, and codependency is where we're going to start. So some history on codependency, a little let you know about it. The codependency is often formed, the trait is often formed in childhood, very young years, okay? Does not really surface, it seems, or become discovered until people become adults and they form adult relationships. Okay, so we're going to hit the traits of codependency. That's what we're going to talk about. It will not be a very long video, but if you do realize that, hey, I see myself in this, I'm just going to throw out a few real easy things at the end to help start breaking the mold a little bit. Okay, bring your self to a better future, ideally. Okay, so with that being said, and I'll stop saying okay all the time. I know that's a habit of mine, so trying to be mindful. With that being said, though, codependency, a few traits. I was studying this, and one that surprised me was bossiness. I was like, really? Codependent people are bossy? Well, okay. But the more I thought about it, I was like, that kind of does make sense in the fact that if you don't feel in control of yourself, you may try to control others. So that's where bossiness may actually come into play. So I get that. So bossiness may be something that you see in someone who is codependent. But typically, the things that are normally talked about are being very malleable, being very easy to manipulate. Usually they care for other people. They put other people before them. Okay, and the thing is, they put other people's needs before themselves. They take care of others before themselves. They are people-pleasing. And what that may mean is, if you are in a relationship, the other person, the spouse of codependent, may be making all the decisions, from where you vacation to where you eat to where you live. All right, a lot of times a codependent will couple up with someone who has addictive behaviors or addiction problems, because codependents will care for them. They will enable them. They will make their habits easier to deal with. They may cover for them with work, if they're missing work, or if their behavior is very poor in public, they may, take care of that situation. All right. So they really, I almost kind of call them like cleaners in relationships, because they handle all the back behind the door scenes where they make it the other person shine, make them everything okay with the things that they are doing. All right, codependents people usually do not have strong boundaries. All right, that's another thing that makes it very easy. If they do have boundaries and beliefs, which all of us do, they're very easily swayed. Okay, and a lot of this, being codependent is really, really about finding self-worth, approval from another person. A codependent will look to that other person to validate them. Okay, and as often as I tell a loved one of mine is, if you're looking for someone to validate you, you're going to be highly disappointed. Okay, now a lot of these traits, being giving, caring for others, we're often taught that as we grow up. We're taught that in life. That's the good way to be. And so some may argue it's not bad to be codependent, and okay, as long as you're in a healthy relationship. And that's the trick here, because when you find yourself with someone who will take advantage, who will manipulate, okay, who will exploit the fact that you're good natured like this, then it becomes a toxic relationship. All right. With that being said, ways to change your situation. Okay, And I did. I just touched on a few things. There's many things with codependency, and if you need more, I encourage you to research it. However, like I said, it's going to be a short video. There are some steps you can take that are very simple. Okay, if you recognize and think that you may be codependent, I encourage you to take some time for yourself. And not just time sitting watching TV. I mean time on working on yourself. Take the time to stop and think about your traits, about your environment, what it is that you would like for yourself, what it is that you would like to change. Try to gain some perspective on what is going on and what you want to allow in your personal space. Okay? Establishing boundaries. That is very important. And someone had once said to me, I don't know how to establish boundaries. Never learned. Okay? And that's fine. That's fine. So I will say this to you. It can be this easy. If someone is speaking to you in a manner that you do not like, if they are insulting you or whatever the situation may be, it's this easy. Stop. I'm not listening to this. And turn around and remove yourself from the situation. Remove yourself from the situation. Stop the conversation. Do not partake in it. Do not defend yourself. Do not get into the argument, and just turn around and leave. Walk away. Okay? It can be that easy. With that being said, I will say, during this journey, when you start empowering yourself, start establishing boundaries, the other person is not used to this, so they may even push back harder. All right, so it may become more difficult before it gets better. I also encourage you, I'm going to give you 3 things. Reflection, as I stated, starting to set boundaries, and you need to start networking. You need to start, I encourage you, I won't say you need to start, but I will encourage you to open up your social circle, reaching out to others, okay? You may find this kind of difficult. You may find it kind of hard. You might not have a lot of options, but there are options out there, even if it's online, if it's internet. But human connection is the best, I will tell you that. So whether it's clubs, church, whatever it may be, that you can take a little bit of time out of the week for yourself and start making those connections. Focusing on good, healthy topics, conversations. All right, bringing healthy people into your life. Okay, this will help your self-esteem. It will reinforce who you are. It will empower you. Okay, so with that being said, like I said, I'm cutting it short. I'm not going to do a 30-minute video. Odds are you need short videos as we go through this. So with that being said, guys, I love your input, love your comments. Let me know if there's any other topics that you want me to touch base on, and we'll see you next time.